video, we will learn how to run general searches and also how to correct them in Query Builder. Let's search, for example, for pKa of phenols, meaning we are searching for a property of the whole group of compounds. Let's see if Reaxys will understand our question. So what it proposes are the pharmacological targets, substances with certain bioactivity. That's not what we want, but we see that it also proposes the compounds of certain structure and the property pKa. This seems to be the nearest to our search. We could go view results, but before that, let's see how this search is created. We can do this always by clicking on Edit in Query Builder. So we see Reaxys assumed two fields. Actually, these two fields are pretty correct, the dissociation exponent and the structure. And we see one more interesting thing. Reaxys filled in the value field for the dissociation exponent with the ridiculously low value and said we want all the results with the value higher than that. Why is this doing that? This is because in this way we can search only for compounds with the numerical value in the field. We could go and use find any option. In this option we would find all information with any information about the dissociation exponent, including non-numerical ones. But if you want only numerical, this is really a nice trick, and we can use it in any other field as well. Let's now look at the structure. We see we have a problem with the structure because we would like to make sure that we have at least one hydroxyl group in our compound. In this one, we have GH here, which means group or any group or hydrogen, meaning that this could be a hydrogen, meaning this would be then a hydroxyl group, but this could be also anything else. And if this was not a hydroxyl group, which could also be, then we would have many compounds which wouldn't be phenols. So we need to change this here. We can change it in two ways. We can either just delete it and then automatically Reaxys will put a hydrogen, which is a non-explicit hydrogen, or we could use an explicit hydrogen. I will come back later to this issue and we try to look at the difference. But at the moment, let's go with this search. I have to search, okay, transfer to query. And this is now corrected. And we click on substances. So we see we have 3,600 substances with dissociation exponent data given. So if you only were interested in this part, you could stop watching here, but I promised you also to show what is the difference between two different types of hydrogens on this position. So let's go back to Query Builder. Let's edit. And now let's take an explicit hydrogen and put it on the oxygen. Again, transfer to query, search for substances. You remember in the previous search we had 3,600 and now we have 3,500, around 100 compounds less. Would you be interested to learn what are these 100 compounds? How can we find them to see what is the difference? We can do it very easily. We can go back to Query Builder, delete our working table, and instead of fields, we can use forms, but we can also use history. So if we go to history, we will see our two searches here, and we can bring them to this working area as search fields. So first I will take the one with more compounds, then I will take the one with less compounds just by clicking on them. And the last thing I need to do is I need to change the operator from and to not, meaning this minus this. We want to see the difference. And we go to substances. So these are 108 resulting substances, which is pretty surprising because here I see the oxygen with the double bond. I see some hydroxyl group, but most probably this was the result of this other GH. And this is the oxygen with the without the hydrogen. What we also see is that we have things, for example, like ions, and this is also not treated as the one with the explicit hydrogen. So non-explicit hydrogen may mean hydrogen, but may also mean no hydrogen there on this position.